So everyone, welcome to Multimodal Weekly. Thanks for those who are joining live, as well as those who will be watching this session afterwards. This is a virtual webinar series hosted by the team at TwelveLabs. We've been meeting on a weekly basis over the past 3 years or so to cover a variety of different interesting topics in our domain. So anything related to research in multimodal AI and foundation models, interesting application being built in various verticals, projects from developers, customer, and partners, as well as internal talks from our team members. These are some example topics that we've been covered over the last month or so. We have, discussion around cross-modal search. We have unique application of, with understanding in, education to search to sports to, coding, etc. For today's session, super excited to have 3 presenters, and actually all 3 of them came from a hackathon that we did in University of Toronto back in January. So the first speaker is going to be Michal Buczek. He will present his work called TrueU, which is an AI brand guardian that can map your unique voice across 5 key dimensions, analyze your content to understand what works, and generate personalized content ideas that can perform without compromising who you are. The second group is going to be David, and who will present his work called ShopEcho, which is a tool for small Shopify vendors to better understand their brand identity, evaluate if a trend is right for you, and get customized campaign drafts that allow your personal preferences. And we closed out the session with Marwan, who will present his project called Sentinel, a comprehensive AI-powered personal safety system that can turn your smartphone into an intelligent protector. Yeah, so that's the agenda that we have today. And since we have a pretty small group, we can, just ask questions as needed. So I will stop sharing my screen, and I will let Michal, if you wanna unmute and start presenting. I see black out for a while.
Yeah, I don't see anything either.
Not sure why. Michal, can you hear us? Hmm. Yeah, let us know if you have any issue with sharing the screen.
I'm
Hey,
sorry, I'm back. I don't know what happened. My network cut off. Yeah, sorry. You guys see my screen?
yes, we hear it. We see it.
Sorry. Yeah. So I guess how this presentation will go, I'll first go through the slide deck and then I'll show a demo of how the platform works. So welcome. My name is Michael. I'll be presenting TrueU. TrueU is a content engine for social media creators and brands so that they can stay aligned with their brand identity while also generating viral ideas and content pretty quickly. So right now the problem is that all creators sound the same. They see a trend that's working, they just hop on the bandwagon, and that leads to lower authenticity, and the people watching their videos can't really engage and enjoy their content because they just sound like everyone else. On top of that, finding viral ideas and then transforming them to match their own brand personas, that takes a lot of time. So this is where TrueU comes in. TrueU helps creators define their desired brand image and then generate unique content ideas and scripts across that profile. That can be done through the AI assistant that we have, trend analysis where it does web search, and it also has viral video analysis where you can drop in videos and then analyze it with TwelveLabs. So overall, this is all just like connected. All these moving parts are connected into the brand identity. So
One sec,
yeah, some of it.
I think we just lost your screen sharing.
Oh shoot.
I couldn't see it. Okay, now it's well.
Better? Okay.
Yep. Continue.
Okay. Yeah. So pretty much they start off by defining their brand identity through a short questionnaire. Then they have a AI assistant, which is conscious of what they want, um, a video analysis feature, and also performance insights so that they can understand how their content is performing. So the tech stack used for this, Next.js, TypeScript, React, that's kind of the main backbone of the whole thing. Styling done with Tailwind. AI orchestration was done with Backward.io, and this allowed it to have multiple models share memory and create threads based on uh, the customer's brand. Video AI, that's TwelveLabs. That's where I get all the analysis done. And some of the models which I used were Claude, GPT, and Grok. Um, so I did make this pretty quickly. So all the storage is done on Redis, which is just like a fast cache. And then I deployed it with Vercel. So the main value proposition of this is that it has all the context from all these different conversations, and it can really tailor your content based on what's working, what it sees in the industry, and stuff like that. So thanks for that quick slideshow. Now I'll actually hop into the demo. Okay, so if we hop over to a landing page, we can kind of see like what the product's about. But let's start off by creating our creator identity. Let's say that I have a YouTube channel and it's called, my account name would be like Movie Lover. Let's say film reviews is my content niche. Then I can move to the next step. This is where I really define like how I want to come across on social media with my content. So let's say I'm pretty calm. I'm more of a peer with my students, so I can relate with them and try to be relatable, tactical, because I analyze movies and stuff like that, and I really want to cut to the details. So analytical as well. And let's say controversial, just so I have some hot takes that boost engagement. So after I create that, then I can just like give some information about my actual brand. So like, what are my goals? So grow a personal brand, increase engagement, let's say monetize content, target age group 26 to 35. Sounds good. They'd be interested in technology, history. This is my audience. Movies, shows. Um, Lots of information overload based on newbies. They just want to cut to the information, and finding quality sources are some like pain points for my audience. Let's say I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I post weekly 10-minute videos, and then I can create my profile. Now, what's happening in the background right now is it's analyzing all this information, placing it in my Redis so that I have my profile information, creating a thread also for backward.io so that it knows what I'm looking for with the content suggestions. And it's actually also going to generate a target audience analysis. And we can actually see this target audience analysis right here. So it'll give me some like expectations for how to make my content good, content strategy, stuff like that. So first things first, I mean, here I have my identity. As we could see, this is the stuff I put in. I can edit at any point, change it, but I'll just leave it for now. And then let's start off by finding some trends. So right now what it does is it's searching the web, and based on my profile, it's going to find extra stuff to help me boost my content. And this is pretty nice for creators. So it really saves them some time. They can just use this and automatically generate stuff without having to type in a prompt every single time they want to find a new video idea. So yeah, it gives us all the trends. It's great. I can even download this and save it as a file. Now I'll show an upload video feature. This is using TwelveLabs. So I can go over here, drop a video. Let's pick this one right here, and I'll actually show what the video does. Let's do. This is a video I just put in.
I think we just lost your screen share again, Michel.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe it's because,
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It happens sometimes. Should be back now.
yep, we see it. No worries.
Okay. So here we have video analysis. And what it does is it pretty much like, so this, as you saw in the video, it was a movie review. The guy was going over a movie quickly. So it is like an excellent match to what our content strategy is. And then it here kind of shows like the dimensions of the video, what's working, what to improve. It even shows a retention timeline. This is based on what it does is it chunks up a video into different parts, looks for keywords which boost engagement or the highlights which are provided by TwelveLabs. And then it also uses statistics based on like typical viewer retention in these kinds of videos. So we can look at that and it'll give you like a whole content summary. Now, what makes this particularly useful is I can remix this video for my own brand. So when I click that, it's gonna make a ready to go script for me, which I can just straight up use in my next video. And this completely slices content generation planning by so much. So content creators right now, they spend approximately like 30 minutes for creating even a short video. And that could be like 2 hours too, depending on the complexity. But this right here is going to make it pretty quick. So hopefully it loads in properly. Give that a second. Okay, yeah. So here it gives us a video script ready to go, hook, scene by scene breakdown. And this is like coming straight from video. So the review is from the Brutalist. And then, yeah, this is like relevant to what our brand would be doing as well. And what's neat about this feature is you can drop in any kind of video, even if it's unrelated to movies, and it's still gonna reformat it into like a video that aligns with your brand. Um, so again, I can download this script and it gives me a bunch of strategies and stuff like that, which is pretty neat. And I'll just show the final feature here. Let's say I want to look at Marquise Brownlee. I like his content and I want to somehow like mimic his content, but make it unique to myself. I can just draw up his handle over here and then I'll say generate similar videos, ideas. Let's do 3 vids for my brand. And then it's going to look through his content, see what's working for him, and also understand my context, and then be able to create, um, generate free video ideas. So let's see what it comes up with. Yeah. So here we could see it's coming from his YouTube channel, Marquise Brownlee. And let's just check out like one video idea. So it'd be like the real world test, canvas film storytelling survive, a logic test, and then it shows like what it's inspired by. And yeah, I get like free video suggestions. And really I can ask it anything. It has all the context memory managed. So yeah. Can also view insights. So these right now are pretty hard coded. Like I'd have to actually build this into the platforms, but that's something I'll work on, uh, or something I would work on to like expand this product. But yeah, that'll wrap up my presentation. I hope you guys see how this makes content creation simplified and how it could be useful. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. I think that's a great demo and presentation. And if you throughout the process of building, the entire application, which part is like the most technically difficult part?
I would say the most technically difficult part was actually kind of figuring out how to analyze the videos and do like the retention stuff because the retention It's not always very clear when you're dealing with a lot of data from the video. Like you got the summary, um, you have all the highlights generated and stuff like that. So technically, like the hardest part was just like dissecting that video and then making
Mm,
sure that the memory is aligned across all the different models, um, and kind of managing that in a way that makes sense.
got it. I think you also share like the get ideas, the remix features, right? Some of these workflow that slightly more complicated than just like poor video analysis. How did you come up with with those ideas and like I guess incorporate the right like API sources to make it work functionally well?
So what exact
For example,
part are you asking?
the remix features, right? How did
Mhm.
you actually like do the remixing on the back end? Like
Oh, like what does it do? Yeah, so it looks TwelveLabs, what it does, it will like give all the context on the video, and it'll analyze it, and then
Mhm,
I'll feed this into the AI, and I also have all of, like the memory set up, like on Reddit, I have all the customer profile details, and then I'm gonna pretty much say like, yeah, it's like mostly prompted in the sense that how would I transform this video into something I would produce and then optimize for the sections that are, like lower engagement and just make it overall better.
so it's an automated remixing workflow, like
Like what is what workflow? Like it'll give a video and then when I click remix, it'll
mhm.
put all that context in and it's just like a prompt and I do it across different models. So like Claude would be used for the actual remix. I don't know if that's like
Yes,
exactly what you're looking for.
yeah. I guess like when you remix to different channels, like so, like you remix for TikTok would be different from remix from to Reddit, right? So like I guess like does Claude like figure out the appropriate like sequencing for different platform?
Yeah, so it's very dependent on the kind of video that you drop in. Like if it's a 5 minute video, then it'll probably shoot for like a 5 minute remix as well. But that's definitely something that would be interesting to work in. Have
Hmm.
it so that maybe if I drop like a YouTube video at 20 minutes, but I want a 2 minute content from it, somehow it could create that. Right now, I don't have that implemented in the remix functionality, but it's something that you could do through the AI assistant.
Hmm.
So yeah, because it still has the memory across. So like if I dropped in a video and I create a remix and I go to the AI assistant, then I could just say like, oh, I need this compressed down to 2 minutes for like this format, and it would know.
Got it. Um, yeah. Well, okay. Again, thanks for sharing. Your application. Yeah, I think brand assistant advertising contextual art. This is like a very popular use cases for TwelveLabs. We have a lot of agencies, ad tech, uh, creator platform, commerce platform over the past couple of months, and I think like largely speaking, their use case is somewhat similar to what we've been building here, which is like matching the right video footage with like the brand, the products, like personalize, right? The video experience that can be featured on their website with the end user. So I think like some of the things that you put here about like personalize the video remix for different platforms, coming up with a score for like the brand. I think that those are like very relevant and applicable for workflow and use cases. Um, yeah, perhaps my last question is, like, if you got a chance to continue expanding this application, what new features or ideas that you want to incorporate in?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's a lot of things I could do. One, I would want to make it super easy for them to be able to post videos directly through this platform to the different social media sites. So that feature would just be like an API call post, but also the Insights channel, like the Insights little box, where it pulls data from like how videos are performing, how receptive people watching the videos are based on like their engagement. I would want to work that in as well. And finally, I know you might ask for only one feature, but I think there's a lot you can do here. Um, I know that there's AI video generation platforms already, so I'd want to see if it's possible to work in like analyzing one video, but then creating another video automatically from it based on the content suggestion improvements. And of course, right now it probably wouldn't be perfect because the video models are still kind of new, but definitely down the line as they improve, I could see autonomous video creation being optimized through this.
Yeah, no, we actually seen that workflow before where people were using TwelveLabs model for the understanding and analysis part, right? Segmentation, uh, 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 like compliant analysis. And then after that, they like, um, feed that context into like another AI video gen model so that can like, create net new segments or like intro, outro, which is interesting because that like, will help the brand uh, iterate faster. I actually do think that advertising and brand and like marketing is like the industry that adopt video AI generated video the most because of they want to run a lot of experiment and they don't want to like have to manually shoot footage, right? So like using those models to quickly like come up with creatives that will help them like iterate faster for sure. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks, Michelle, for walking over the demo. Let's move on to the second speaker. So David, you want to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, let me just share my screen. Let me figure out how to work this. This one. Okay, it looks like you can see yourself.
Yes, I can see myself.
Okay, and then now can you see the slide?
Yeah. Yes, I can see it.
Okay, great. Yeah, like a really great presentation. I remember your last part about automated video
Oh,
generation. You're
actually,
gonna see something similar here.
oh, David, actually, I think it said click to exit full screen. Okay, now it's good.
Wait,
Go back.
okay,
Okay, now it is good.
okay, but now I'm the presentation mode, right?
Yeah, when you're in presentation mode, like we cannot see your slide.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't really know how I should go about it then.
Oh, we just like do like this. We can still show.
Okay, sure, we can just do it like this. Sure, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll just get started with the product stuff. So we made a ShopEcho, myself and Andre. So I'm David. I'm a fourth year data science student at the University of Waterloo. I met Andre last summer at a different hackathon, and we didn't really partner together, but we decided to run it back with this one in January where we met. He can't make it because he's sick, like I mentioned before, but he goes to TMU or Toronto Metropolitan University, and he studies computer science there. So a bit of backstory before we get into the product is during UofT Hacks, we were really bad at ideating. We really couldn't think about what to do. And so we decided on the first day to just leave the venue and go walk around and walk down Spadina. And when we were walking down Spadina, Spadina sort of like the Toronto equivalent of Chinatown. And so we saw a lot of really small places and we got food at a lot of local places. And we thought about how these small places are still surviving when there are like large corporate entities just around the corner. For example, there's a lot of like small Chinese noodle bowl places and dumpling places that are nearby, but there's also McDonald's around the corner. So we're wondering like, what is it about these companies that help them differentiate themselves from McDonald's and these like bigger entities? And we thought about using the theme of identity, which was the UofT Hacks theme. And that sort of led us towards thinking about small vendors and how they're able to produce their identity and market themselves efficiently. And that's when we decided to make ShopEcho. So inspiration is that when we think of small vendors, it's really hard to grow your audience from just a small group of people to many people. And oftentimes now, I've noticed that people are often scaling their brands through social media. A lot of small stores that I used to go on that I like frequented in the past, they're now having small social media presence. They're blasting reels, they're creating their own trends and gimmicking them with their own food items, their own content. To sort of, I don't want to say like mass disperse, but they want to advertise themselves better, right? Because it's hard to do just word of mouth now, especially with so much more selection and also the reluctance in general to go out and buy things. However, as a small brand, you don't really know what you are until you figure it out, right? Like it's sort of like a chicken and egg situation where you need to know what you are to push that sort of content out. But in order to push content out, you need to know what you are, and that's where ShopEcho comes in, and that's where we got to use TwelveLabs and all these other tools. So we're sort of a simple launchpad to help Shopify merchants scale quickly. And even if they don't understand their own identity, we can parse it ourselves through their storefront. So we'll go through the dev post video right now. I don't know if this will play. I don't need the audio, but let me just see if this plays. You can see this, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. If I full screen it, will you still be able to see it or no? Do you think? Should we try it or it's all right?
No, it doesn't open full screen.
Oh, I haven't opened it yet. But okay, yeah, I'll open full screen. Can you see it or no?
No, now it's actually going to Sentinel.
All right, we'll go back to this. Can you see the video?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, yeah. So I'll just play the video from here. It's a pretty brief video, but I'll talk over it and expound about some of the content inside. So just for a bit of example, we had to make a Shopify store ourselves, obviously, because we don't have one. So we made this sort of store called Snow Yeti. Snow Yeti sells a lot of outdoors equipment, like as you can see, snowboards, but also jackets and helmets and everything related to just skiing essentially, and not too relevant. So now Snow Yeti, as the sort of like vendor or as the sort of marketer or a merchant, you can open your Shopify settings page where you can see all your normal analytics, but then at the bottom, we also have ShopEcho as a sort of Shopify app. It's going to load for a second here, and then we'll notice that there are a couple boxes. And we'll just go through like the general workflow about how a merchant would use ShopEcho to assist with their marketing. So I'm going to press, or me in the video is going to press this View Manifesto button. The manifesto is essentially we're using the Shopify API to scrape all of like the most information on your storefront. So we're scraping all your product names, all your product prices, the metadata, and then also like the sort of visitor analytics and the metadata comes with people who view your store. And this way we're like grouping it all up into context and we're feeding it into an LLM to get a sort of identity window of what kind of store you are. And I think what's really valuable and what's really interesting is that we're also looking at the customers who come to you. And this is because a lot of stores have identities that expand upon what they themselves think that they are. For example, things like Yeti. Yeti is sort of like an outdoorsy brand, right? If you think of like the Yeti cooler, it's sort of for camping. If you think of the Yeti thermoses, they retain the temperature for hours and hours on end. But Yeti also has a sort of niche in the finance market, the same way Patagonia does as well, and Arc'teryx also do. They're all sort of like high fashion items. And I think by looking at the sort of information of the people who are also browsing your storefront, you're able to get more insight into the sort of identity that people think that your store has, and you can maybe play into those niches a bit better. So we're going to see this manifesto load. You might not be able to read this. It's a bit small right now, but you can essentially assume it's just a sort of paragraph summary of what your store is, what type of like ideas, and I don't want to say like, I guess you say like guidelines and principles that your store follows. And at the bottom, I have a sort of catchphrase called Ride the Myth, Embrace the Yeti, and this is because we are sort of a snowboarding brand. Next up, we have the intelligence source, which is going back to the inspiration that I talked about before, where nowadays a lot of small vendors are just riffing off of existing trends to sort of market themselves, because there are trends that are very popular. For example, I think very recently the Alyssa Liu and her final presentation after she won the gold, she did a presentation to the song called Stateside, and I feel like there's been a lot of people sort of riffing off of that or making their own, like putting their own characters into there, inspiring off of that sort of presentation. And that really works well because it is like a current hot topic and it's a very formulaic trend. We're wanting to use TwelveLabs to analyze sort of videos and see if you can sort of translate into these trends. Just give me a moment. So I think I'm talking right now in the video, but this opportunity to run. As a sort of sample ad, my past self is going to put in this Walmart ad, a Walmart Super Bowl ad. It's about like aliens or something. It's not very aligned with the shop identity brand for snowboards and outdoors equipment. And you'll notice that after the 12-line input gets parsed, we can see it on the right. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah. So TwelveLabs parses the YouTube URL. We had a lot of issues trying to work like YouTube URL to video file to TwelveLabs because they didn't accept video or YouTube links directly. But we managed to make it work using some sort of third-party library, which is great. And then we can see the signal analysis. We see that the video does not revolve around themes of untamed spirits or connections to natures, blah, 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 blah. But essentially, it's just saying that the video doesn't align and it probably wouldn't be a great one to follow up with. And this sort of makes sense, right? Like this is like a goofy video skit. That's sort of the summary. And then we compare it directly to the manifesto using this button. Skip, skip, skip. And we'll see that it's not on brand. We'll put a different video on brand now, or in the input box now. We put an Arc'teryx video, which I mentioned previously. It should be obvious how Arc'teryx sort of aligns with Snow Yeti. For example, they're both sort of outdoorsy brands, and they both have the same like mystique of nature sort of energy. And I think the TwelveLabs output we'll see here very clearly that it is on brand. The manifesto aligns. So the output, the summary, I guess the TwelveLabs summary of the video and the manifesto summary that we have from the Shopify storefront, they sort of align together, and this sort of implies to the vendor that this would be a good video to riff off of. And once you find a good video, you can actually go to the subpage called campaigns, where the fact that it is a hit is processed already into our large memory because Backboard offers synchronized memory together, and went to this campaign feature where you generate your own content. So the manifesto is loaded, the previous video is loaded, and we have a current focus. And then we do what Michael mentioned previously, what his sort of next steps were. Something that we did implement directly with TwelveLabs is sort of YouTube generation. So we have these mock video generations off of the given video. So skip through, and we have these sort of like crummy AI videos. I know Michael also mentioned that the AI models are pretty new, and I definitely agree with that sentiment. These videos are definitely not publishable. They're not really open for the public eye. But I think if you have your own like videographers, these can definitely be used as sort of inspiration per se. And this all thanks to our summary from TwelveLabs, comparing directly to our Shopify storefront, and then putting this all in together with more context into 11Labs. So that's sort of a big summary of ShopEcho, the product. We use an agent to scrape your store, and then as you input YouTube videos in, we're using TwelveLabs to get sort of video summaries of these videos to see if they align with your store identity and see if you can maybe riff off of them yourself, if they align with your sort of vision, your identity of your store. And then if it does align, you can go to our second tab where we have video generation, and we also have emails, which is not too spectacular. So we'll kind of skip over that. But yeah, that's the working product in its full flow. A little context of the architecture here, just like a little under the hood for a more technical dive. We have the front end. Oh, this is so small. Yeah, we have the front end with Shopify. We're using Polaris and their Remix Studio. It's just like a standard front end. There's not much to speak about there. But then from there, we use the front end, the Remix server, to go to the Fast API. Where the Fast API offers our 3 services, which is the marketing campaign service, the video analysis service using TwelveLabs, and also the manifest identity service, which is our agent. And this all gets dumped through Backboard with the unified memory layer. And from there, we're just calling our APIs as needed. So we're calling our Shopify API for the manifesto as it needs to scrape the storefront and get the information, and also the customers that come by through the store. Through video analysis, obviously, we're hitting TwelveLabs. We're hitting Pegasus specifically because that is one that offers video summaries for us. And then all summary writing, for example, the sort of comparison features or the manifesto features, like and the email drafting, like all written text is done through Gemini, because Gemini we found is pretty colorful in terms of its writing, and I think vendors would like more colorful things as they produce the public display. And then the videos themselves are generated through 11Labs, which is a pretty funny name in this context, but this is sort of our workflow entirely for the purpose of the hackathon. And finally, I didn't make a big slide. These aren't in the video, but these are some augmentations that we did to take the product a bit further after the hackathon took place. So we upgraded the video generation a bit. I talked about how we're using 11Labs, where we're just dumping a bunch of summary context and identities context into 11Labs to sort of generate these sort of mock videos. But we thought these videos aren't very aligned with the existing video itself. For example, I mentioned previously that you want to riff off of the existing trend. So you want to have something very similar to the input video, but all the test videos were not that similar. And so we looked at how we could further leverage TwelveLabs to use this to make this a bit better. And we noticed that you guys do have this thing called Marengo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this properly, but it is a second model which offers sort of embeddings and semantic search through other videos. And so we've integrated Marengo a bit. We also give the input video into Marengo to get a sort of dense embedding. I believe that's what they're called, or they're called rich embeddings, to get more semantic analysis and more of like meaning as to the way the videos are processed. And that way we're able to put more context into 11Labs and get a more similar video to the existing trend. Additionally, we've also augmented the Shopify interface a bit, such that you no longer have to actually copy paste YouTube links in. I think that's very crude and a bit slow. And so instead we upgraded it so the agent actually is always tracking your, sorry, not the agent's tracking your, but we upgraded the interface such that you can actually scroll YouTube inside the Shopify website or inside the merchant terminal. So like inside here, instead of intelligence source, we have a box for you to scroll YouTube shorts. And then every short that you scroll through is automatically dumped through our process because we do have error handling for the happy and the unhappy paths. And so as you scroll through, every video that you see is going to be dumped in, compared against the manifesto, and seen if it is a brand aligned hit or not. And then after you finish scrolling, you can hit a button, you can say, okay, I'm done scrolling, and you look at all the videos that are hits, they're saved. You can watch them yourself maybe. You can get the summary from TwelveLabs, and then you can look and see the fake inspiration videos that are powered through Marengo and the Pegasus model. And that is everything for ShopEcho. If there's anything that anyone would like to ask me.
Awesome. Okay, sweet. Thanks, David, for yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry, my screen just like jumped across screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think it's super interesting workflow. Yeah, you're correct on Marengo embedding is essentially is a embedding models that very powerful for search and finding that exact scene and moment. Um, but yeah, overall, I think like it's a interesting workflow where you combine 12 apps alongside other foundation model endpoints to like augment the end-to-end experience of shoppers, right?
Yeah, Michael talked about this previously. I mentioned it before I got cut off, but he did mention that after you get the video summary, it'd be cool to have sort of AI generated videos, and I definitely agree. We implemented that as well, and I think it makes sense from a sort of vendor perspective to once you see something, you also want to see yourself in there as well, and maybe it can reduce the friction as to pumping out more content.
Yeah. How easy it was to like work with Shopify API? Is it?
I think
Go ahead.
yeah, the interface itself was actually pretty annoying. It is like the interface itself, the front interface was able to just be it's sort of abstracted to just be like a normal React interface,
Mhm.
but it was pretty annoying to have to scrape the store and also scrape the customers list. First of all, we had to create artificial traffic for our artificial store, which is pretty tedious, especially in the hackathon environment. But then there's a lot of like annoying nested JSON packages. But overall, I would say tedious, but not too difficult. We're able to talk to some Shopify reps at the event as well and get some help there.
Nice. Um, and so you basically grab a lot of video content from Shopify itself, right?
No, no. The video content is through YouTube, right? So Shopify is just your store. It's sort of like yourself, and
Uh,
then we're scraping your store and your traffic to sort of get a sort of identity summary for yourself. The theme of the hackathon was identity, so we wanted to try to force this sort of idea in. And then the video content is just YouTube links and MP4s that are from the YouTube links. They're being parsed directly to TwelveLabs for analysis.
do you want to combine both the identity information from Shopify with the YouTube video content, right? To add to like create a rich profile, right, of the
Exactly. You want to compare the Shopify store summary and the video summary to see if they sort of align in the form of branding to see if you can if it's actually a trend worth hunting down. I didn't say this in the presentation I did just now, but I said in the dev post video which I had muted. But there are certain trends that certain groups can't really pursue, and I think maybe you're not aware of if you can do it or you can't do it. I don't have an explicit example right now, but there are definitely trends that only work for a certain type of niche marketplace, right? And you don't know if you don't want to waste your resources, especially as a small vendor with very limited resources. You don't want to waste your time and your energy and your money on creating advertisements that don't work.
Yeah, absolutely. I also like the fact that you have that feature that automatically generate an email campaign given
Yeah,
the
I breezed over that a bit, but I feel like it wasn't nearly as spectacular as the video parsing and the fake video. But we just have like identity based feature to span out an email.
nice. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I mean, I guess
I guess that's it for me. Thanks for giving me the chance to present. Should we move on? Next speaker.
yeah, if there's no one else have any other question, let's move on to the final presentation.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Um, mm, Okay, can you see the slideshow?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so today I'll be presenting Sentinel. So firstly, I'm Marwan, and I'm a second year software engineer at McMaster University. And I built this project with Jaffer, but unfortunately he wasn't able to come today. So I'll be presenting on both of us behalf. So this is Sentinel, reimagining personal safety with 12 Labs. So the problem. So Sentinel starts with a simple problem. Emergency responses still depend too much on the victim being able to speak, explain, and share information in real time. In many dangerous situations, that is not possible. A person may be injured, hiding, panicking, or unable to access their phone at all. At the same time, critical emergency data like location, medical history, and context is often scattered across different places, which slows response time. And even when responders do connect, they usually lack live AI assisted context about what is happening on the scene. Sentinel is designed to close that gap. So, the inspiration. So, what inspired Sentinel was the gap between how advanced our devices are and how limited emergency responses still feel in practice. Today's phones have cameras, microphones, sensors, GPS, and constant connectivity. But in most emergencies, we still reduce all of that capability to a basic voice call. At the same time, personal safety apps have not fully embraced real-time AI in a way that actively supports users during an incident. That made us ask a simple question. What if your phone can do more than call for help? What if it could understand the situation, organize key information instantly, and communicate on your behalf when you cannot? And our solution to this was Sentinel. So Sentinel is an AI-powered personal safety platform for high-stress emergencies. So it provides a number of AI tools that help ensure in an emergency to help give you a bunch of safety tools, and it does that by combining live location, emergency call assistance, and intelligent video analysis all in one app. And it helps deliver critical context quickly when users cannot communicate clearly. So, what exactly does Sentinel do? So, we built a number of features in Sentinel. So, firstly, we built an AI agent that calls 911 on your behalf. So, say you're in a situation where you're unable to call 911, maybe you're hiding or someone is following you or you don't want to be heard that you're calling 911, then you can simply give a short message to the AI agent. The AI agent will share everything to 911, such as your location, medical history if you have that saved, and answer questions on your behalf fully have a full conversation with emergency responders. We also created a live safety recording feature with cloud backup for securing evidence, and this is to ensure that say you're in a situation where you're recording someone for maybe they're harassing you or they're committing something criminal, then by having the video being constantly updated to the cloud, you ensure that this evidence is constantly secure and cannot be lost. Third, we have location tracking and safety maps. So location tracking is self-explanatory, and a safety map, we'll actually see that further in the demo. And we also have fake AI calls to deter danger. So this can help the user escape uncomfortable situations by like talking with an AI as if they're meeting with someone. We also have an agentic AI system that autonomously detects danger and quickly acts. It can contact not only 911 but also like your close contacts. And then we also finally have like a section where medical information can be shared on your app, and that way the AI agents can call on your behalf and answer about your medical history and if you have any such allergies and things like that on your behalf. So for 12 Labs integration, so so firstly, we integrated 12 Labs by analyzing the emergency videos. So what 12 Labs does, it generates a really in-depth analysis, and then we use that analysis to create a safety analysis, and that gives you like insights like risk level, safety alerts, a summary of what happened. And we also have a feature where there's a chatbot where you can ask any questions about the videos. So obviously something like that is really helpful to emergency responders to quickly understand what is happening in a video and get quick insights about what is happening. And then for technical architecture, so we built this UofT Hacks, and for the front end, we just went with HTML, CSS, and React. For backend, we used Node.js, Express, and SQLite as our database. And for tools and tech, we use 12 labs for the AI video analysis, 11 labs for all the AI voice features, TwelveLabs to ensure that the actual phone calling works, and then Gemini. So for the demo, I have Sentinel over here. Can you see Sentinel?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so this is the app. It's meant to be a mobile app mainly, but right now I have it on my laptop, so it might look a little bit narrow. But yeah, this is the app. And first, we have the go live feature. So, say you're in an emergency and you want to start recording and you want to ensure this recording is safe. You can press go live. It initializes the camera, and you have things like calling 911, and the video automatically gets shared, and 911 is told exactly what's happening in the video. You also have things like sirens.
Warning.
This is to help maybe deter danger, things like that. So, like here, you can call 911 and you can describe the emergency. This is optional, and if not, it will just call 911, describe what's happening in the video, just tell your location, answer anything about your medical information and such things. So here I'm gonna stop the recording, cancel and delete because I have a saved video I want to show where we actually see the 12 labs analysis. So for example,
This is a demo for Sentinel, showcasing TwelveLabs integration.
So yeah, here's just a video of me demoing to test out 12 labs analysis. So here we can see 12 Labs generated a pretty in detail analysis. So it describes everything that's happening in the video and my gestures. And based off that, we got a safety analysis with like risk level. So here we can see risk level is low, which adds up because clearly I'm not in danger and I look calm. It's key observations. The subject's actions are controlled, deliberate and non-aggressive. Recommendations, no specific safety actions because clearly I am safe. And then we can also ask questions about the video. So we can go here and we can be like, what what did the person say? And then we should yeah, it respondent says the person said this is a demo for Sentinel showcasing 12 Labs integration, which is exactly what I did say in the video. So we can see this is how 12 Labs is used and it works pretty well and gives insights quickly. And right now, I want to showcase the call 911 for me feature. So, for example, say you want to quickly call 911 and you can't talk with them. You can, for example, then just quickly write a quick message like, I have fallen and I am hurt. And we'll see what happens if I press call 911. I have it set up to my phone number and I receive a phone call here. Okay.
You can.
So I'm on an actual, like, real phone call.
Emergency assistant calling on behalf of Marwan. This is a test call. The caller is located at 76 Longwood Road South, Westdale South, Hamilton, Golden Horseshoe, Ontario, L8S1A5, Canada. I have fallen and I am hurt. They are unable to speak and I am relaying information on their behalf. What information do you need? I have the caller's location, medical information, and emergency contacts available.
Does the person have any allergies?
Yes, Marwan has a peanut.
So yeah, here
Go
we
ahead with your next.
So yeah, we could continue asking it questions for as long as we want. So yeah, I'm gonna end the call. Yeah, but you can continue asking questions. So here, let me just refresh so we can exit the call. And yeah, so you can see this call 911 feature agent system. It works in a bunch of places. It also works in the trip section. So for example, say you're going on a trip that's potentially dangerous, like going out for a late night walk. And then you can have like an expected travel time of 45 minutes and then give yourself like a buffer of time of 5 minutes. And then you can choose if you're not back home by a certain time, it can share with whatever context you want, tell them that you weren't back and they should check up on you. So for here, for example, maybe you don't only want to notify your mom and not emergency services. And that way if you start a trip, here we have a trip tracker, and if I don't press I've arrived safely before 2:15 p.m. my time, then an AI agent will automatically call my mom and tell her that I have not arrived and I was going out for a late night walk, and it will share my location with her. I can actually quickly showcase this if I do a custom time. 1 second, and then going out for late walk. I'm just doing 1 second so we can see the call work. So start trip. So after the 2 seconds, I should get a phone call because I haven't pressed arrive safely. And you can see I got a phone call. I can accept it there.
Hello, this is an AI assistant calling on behalf of Marwan. Trip timer expired. User may be in danger. Trip to going out for late night walk expected 1 second ago. Marwan is located at 76 Longwood Road South, Westdale South.
And yeah, it'll basically do after that, like how we saw with the other one, where it's just gonna give the location and we can ask questions about like medical information, maybe ask it to repeat the location, ask it what I was doing and things like that. So let me end this and Here we also have a fake call section. So I talked about this earlier. It's basically you can have the AI call you for give you a scheduled call, and this can help you escape uncomfortable situations where maybe someone's following you and you want to deter that type of danger away. So let's test it out. We can press call now. I'm getting an incoming call. Hello, where are you?
Hey, I'm right outside. Why are you taking so long? I can't really park here.
I'm worried. I can't find you.
You're gonna see me. I'm literally right out front.
Yeah.
Just come out.
And we could continue having this conversation for as long as we want. And this is kind of to help to show, for example, if someone's following you, that like you're with someone else and someone is like waiting for you. And this is like kind of a way to deter danger. So that is useful. And then here we have a check-in system. So this is kind of similar to the trip thing. You can, but it's like quicker. So for example, like meeting someone and then you have like 60 minutes and then you have to indicate that you're safe before the 60 minutes. If not, then again, you get the same phone call. And here we can see the medical information. So this is actually, we can see earlier we asked it what were my allergies, and we can see that my allergies are actually peanuts, so it was accurate. And we can add as many allergies as we want. For example, we can say gluten. We can add conditions. So if I asked it about conditions, it would have said asthma and things like that, date of birth, blood type, and we can also add extra information like hospital, additional notes, and things like that. So going back to the homepage, here we have a safety map. So what the safety map does is basically it allows users to report emergencies or like criminal activity like theft, assault, and such things. And actually, if you do report one, like for example, fire, and then say, I'm just gonna say test for here, and then we can say high severity, and then we can see that in my location, an emergency has been shown. There's a fire that has been reported, and we can see that my safety score based on my location has actually decreased. So I got a lower safety score, meaning I'm in a more dangerous area because there's three reports of like safety issues. And here we can see all the incidents that are around me, and we can see the patterns. And this with more data, we get more analysis, more patterns, and it shows like maybe peak risk hours, maybe times you should avoid certain areas. Uh, okay. And yeah, I think that's it for the home section. Here we have the contact section. You can add like more family and friends, emergency service, add more phone numbers so like more people can be notified or however you want to customize it. Here we have a location section. So this is for like location tracking. So you can start location tracking. This just shares your live location with your close contacts. You can have safe locations, so like the AI agents don't have to be as alert when you're like at home or in when you're in your safety locations, and we can add as many as we want. We can have smart alerts like outside home late at night, so things like that. Movement, so if you have your location on for a while, then this will start to update. And then sharing, you can choose to share your location for a certain amount of time. And yeah, and then finally we just have like settings, like things like voice commands, like if you say emergency, start the video, enable wellness checks, and just yeah, things like that. So I think that's it for the demo. Uh, yeah, we can do Q&A, and yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Marwan. I think
Mm,
I really like your just the UI UX element of the application. It's very modern and fit
mm,
directly to the security, personal safety use cases. So overall, it's a very presentable and like highly attractive theme
mm,
in general. I think there's a question in the chat from Wajid here. He asked,
yeah.
how do you ensure hallucination grounding? This is highly sensitive context. There's no room for error.
Wait, sorry. Wait, I'm gonna stop sharing so I can see the
Yeah,
question.
I want to take a look at the chat.
Okay, how do you ensure hallucination grounding? This is highly sensitive. Yeah, so obviously right now, all the AI isn't perfect, so hallucination is a thing. That's why we're as a next step, we're definitely like add more guardrails. But right now, our main guardrails are just like prompting. So like in the instruction prompt with any AI API, you can just be like, ensure you don't say this, ensure that things actually happen, and then like things like if you don't see or maybe if there's limited data, then it's okay to admit that data is limited. You don't have to like make up things. As of right now, from all the testing cases, especially like 12 labs and that, we haven't really seen any hallucination. But that is definitely something like to keep in mind. This could definitely be like if we want to deploy this on scale, this is definitely something that we have to tackle. Uh, but yeah, like so far we haven't really seen any huge issues with hallucinations. Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Any
And
more questions?
just to be correct, so TwelveLabs Marango here is being used to
Hmm.
uh, like
Yeah.
recognize action and information from the live recorded
Hmm.
webcam camera, right?
Yeah.
And after you got the output from TwelveLabs, what is the downstream task of that?
So yeah, we use Marengo and Pegasus, so combined. And then for the questions, I believe we used Gemini just because we were able to use like a really cheap model and the question like the we didn't really need an expensive model to like answer like the chatbot questions because it's just pulling out from like the context up there. So yeah.
Got it.
Mm.
Um, or some of the features that you share on like mapping a geolocation,
Mm.
some of that stuff. Can you tell more about those API endpoint, like the location and like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for
interpretation? Yep.
Yeah, so for the map, we just simply use like Google Maps API. Like they give you like a map. So like the location wasn't my actual location. So it wasn't like a demo map. This was like actually just using like Google Maps, the map that they give you. And yeah, and then once you like report an incident, we just had it like in the back end, it like stores the location and it shows up on the map. So yeah.
Got it.
Mm.
Great. I guess last question before we close. If you got to improve this application further, what are the capabilities you think you're gonna include?
Yeah. So I think one of like the main constraints that if we were to actually want to deploy this for users, I think we'd have to work with like emergency responders to like integrate like our tools with their things. For example, like the video sharing, like if we want to directly video share to like 911, 911 responders, then then in that case, yeah, we need to be work with emergency responders. I don't think it would be that much work, but yeah, definitely some integration would be needed. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Marwan, for closing up the webinar. Thanks to all the three speakers for preparing this
Thank
today. I think those are very excellent, diverse demonstration of different application of 12 apps, right? Whether it's from shopping, brand advertising, to like personal safety, security. And I think these are like also relevant use cases for us as well. We have a lot of business interest in these, verticals, commercial security, brand advertising. So actually, these applications that you build here are very relevant for our future, end users and customer to learn about the different ways that they can, use 12 API for. So yeah, thanks again for first of all hacking with 12 labs during the hackathon, and second of all like for preparing and presenting your projects at our session today. The recording of this session should be available on YouTube at some point by early next week, so be sure to send that with you all, and so they can put that on your social media, etc. And we run this session on a weekly basis, so maybe a couple more demos in the next few weeks. So if you find it interesting, good luck to have you come by and check out other projects with 12labs. All right, thanks, Guy. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks,
so much.
James.
Thanks. Cheers.
Great presentation, guys.
You too. Good. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.